morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Welcome to Mass Appeal. I'm Ashley Cole.
And I'm Seth Stubb, and it's the last day of Money Saving May. That's a bummer.
It is a bummer, but we'll always bring tips to you to help you save money.
It's going to be money saving year 2014. I'm feeling it. And then by 2015, we'll have so much money that we've saved that it'll be how to blow all your money 2015.
Yes, exactly.
In the meantime, here to show us how to repurpose some leftovers is Chef John Slatter. He's the owner of 4 Main Street Restaurant in Huntington, because by Friday, I don't know if you were like me, I have so many different meals that I've created throughout the week.
Always.
And then I just have a lot of Tupperware.
Right.
So today we're gonna do a couple things. One is a quiche we can talk about, but let's start making some fried rice, because this is a great everything but the kitchen sink recipe.
Well, yeah, we got some vegetables. Like, and as you get farm fresh vegetables at this time of the year, and you get them, if you don't take care of them, they could spoil on you. And even anytime that you buy vegetables at the grocery store, it's important to take proper care of them, and they'll last longer, and therefore you're saving money by utilizing it a long time. The average person in their house doesn't need the whole giant head of celery for one day's service or something like that. You end up using 1 or 2 sticks a day, to make some chicken soup, or if you're having some wings, you might use 3, and we'll cut them for wings. So you want to make sure as you cut things, you save things. So we've cut in some sticks for wings.
Mm-hmm. But then, yeah, no one knows what to do with that nub.
But now we got a nub, and the nub is still edible. It is. We're gonna cut off just the root that was in the dirt. We don't want that.
No.
Okay.
And then we can dice what's left.
And is that gonna go in the fried rice?
That's gonna go in the fried rice.
So what are the basics for fried rice? I think it's something it's easy to make, but also easy to mess up.
Well, as I'm cutting some vegetables, and we're going to talk about bok choy.
Yeah.
Here, could you get the olive oil out of the cabinet? Thank you very much. And then we have here baby bok choy that we got from the field,
and
we've been growing them. And the cool thing is that we actually got these from the field at the end of the season, and we've been picking a couple leaves off every week into using them. And if you do that, bok choy is a vegetable that will continue to grow if you keep it nice and healthy and happy.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes that is as simple as keeping it clean. We're using a solution of vinegar and water, 1 part of vinegar to 3 parts of water, just to maybe rinse your vegetables, and then to dry them and put them in proper storage, maybe with a piece of paper towel wrapped around them, nice and clean, and put it in half in a Ziploc bag, but let it breathe. And if you put that towards the back of the fridge, your vegetables can last a long time.
Yeah, I did learn that putting a paper towel on your lettuce can actually help it to last longer. All right.
So the fried rice here, we've got some oil going into the pan.
And it's a hot pan already.
It's a very hot pan.
Hot pan.
So we're going to put the oil in the pan. It's going to cool. The oil was cold, so it's going to cool the pan down. We took it off the heat because we don't want to start a fire in here in the studio or anything like that. And so we're going to put in a little bit of rice to start with, because we want a little bit of our fried rice to be crispy, crispy.
All right, so let's say you had rice with your chicken on Tuesday, so you have a lot of leftover rice, and now you're going to make fried rice on Friday.
Well, we had onions or wild ramps with our burgers the other day, and so I've got the ends of the wild ramps that we chopped off here. They were leftover. Pre-leftovers, sometimes when you get fresh vegetables, you have to think as pre-leftovers, what's going to get wasted in the end. So if you take good care of it, we've got some onion-flavored stuff that's coming from our ramps, which are a wild onion that we brought on the show last time. And we're going to put those in for our onion flavor in our fried rice.
Ooh. And if you don't have wild ramps, then you could use like
onions,
green
absolutely. The onion or green onion. We have green onions over here that we've been continuing to grow. When you buy a bunch of green onions in the store, sometimes you forget about them in the back of the fridge, and they end up looking kind of like that. But they're not rotten or anything. They haven't got moldy, but they're no longer pretty, or they're not going to last very long. Those we're going to chop up, make sure we use today, because we bought them today, or we found out they're not going to last.
Now, but you were saying you can replant these, so you take the root.
Just the bottom root, and rinse it with nice clean water, and put it into a dish. Here we have a baby spinach doing the same thing that we've cleaned and taken all the leaves off for today. We're going to make something tasty with him later. That's some native Southwick spinach.
Oh, yeah?
But here now we've got our baby green onions in the thing. We're just got to keep a little bit of fresh water in a cup and put it in the windowsill, and they'll continue to grow.
So it's that easy?
Yep. And then if you continue to harvest the ones as they get bigger and harvest those ones, they'll continue to grow more. These ones here have been harvested for 6 months. These are just ones I keep in the window at the house.
Are you serious?
Are these green onions?
Yep. And we just take off what we need. At your average household, you need maybe 2 tablespoons. So you cut off the oldest, biggest ones, and new ones continue to grow and grow.
That's brilliant, because you go to the store, you get a bundle of them, they're $1 or $2, and then you end up throwing away half of them. So now you can buy the bundle and
it's just
never buy them
important to
again.
really make sure that you're checking on them, watering them daily, just like houseplants and stuff like that. It becomes a little chore, but they'll last a long, long time. And then as you use up the end pieces, we can make cool things, like in this quiche over here, it's a buffalo chicken quiche with the chicken left over that we smoked the other day. And then we had in it some of the baby ends of for onion flavor from the green onions, and some of the celery pieces that we chop for celery, as well as the pieces from the asparagus. As you know, the woody parts we're going to cook down and save to use for a stock or sauce. We made that cream of green soup once before.
But you can use the whole part, every single part of the vegetable in different ways.
And a lot of them will continue to grow as long as you take good care of them. You know, the celery will last and last.
All right, so let's check on that fried rice. How's that
Now we've
doing?
got some crispy stuff in the bottom here.
Nice.
So that's what we want. We want a little crunch to it.
So we're going to let you work on that, and we have some kitchen tips to share with you. There's tips and tricks that nobody told you about, or maybe they did, and we're just telling you again. So you did mention this, John, that if you keep a paper towel in with your lettuce or any kind of leafy green, it actually absorbs the moisture and it can help it to last longer. So that's a really easy thing to do, and it'll keep the lettuce in your fridge longer.
Absolutely.
The next thing you can do, this is a great idea. So grilling fish is really difficult, I think, because the fish sticks to the grill, it falls apart so easily. So grill it on top of a lemon. So you take a lemon and you dice it into small circular pieces, and the fish soaks up the citrus flavor, and it keeps the fish in one piece and makes the cleanup really easy.
Oh,
you know what's cool about that?
idea.
Things like the ends of the lemons or the peels and pits of the mangoes or things like that, or any other fruit pieces that are the parts that you probably
Throw
wouldn't
away.
eat.
Right.
Yeah.
Are really great. If you put sugar on them, they become a syrup of whatever they're made from. And you can use it. So this is just the mango pits and skins and a couple of apple cores and apple skins that have pectin. And it's been soaking with sugar. Now I've got a delicious mango flavored syrup with pectin, which is really good for you, and then could be thickened to a jam or a simple syrup to pour into a cocktail or over your ice cream or something like that.
That's a
great
and you can
idea.
do that with lemons and oranges and limes as well.
See, there you go.
Another
Save you
good
money.
idea, you can take these herbs that you have, those extra ones, and instead of throwing them away or replanting them, you can also put them in oil. So you take the herbs, you freeze it in olive oil, and it's going to prevent them from browning and getting freezer burn, not to mention they're going to be handy to use in recipes, whether they're in season or not, and they'll stay for a while.
Imagine using, taking out the herb that you grew in your garden in summer and having it in your winter dish.
That'd be nice.
Very cool. So cool. That brings us to our Mass Appeal question of the day. We want to know, do you have any money-saving or time-saving kitchen tips or tricks? Mary says that she freezes finely chopped chives for future sauces, like we just talked about, and other savory dishes in double plastic bags. Great idea.
And America says if you exhale into the plastic lettuce bag and seal it, it'll last forever.
Oh, so take all, vacuum seal it, basically,
Vacuum
right?
seal, basically.
There
It's
you
not a bad
go.
idea. So you can share your comments with us on our Facebook page. You can send us a tweet at massappeal@WWLP or send an email massappeal@WWLP.com. Now, before we go to commercial, I know you put some, is that soy sauce in there?
This is tamari. I like to use a nice aged tamari. It is gluten-free, where most soy sauces contain gluten, so it's an aged soy sauce, and they don't put no gluten ends up in the process, so you can use it for people that have a sensitivity. And so we do have some kind of soy sauce. It's just salt and pepper, and we've got some crispy rice, and then we added more rice to thicken it up, and
some red pepper?
Red pepper. I'm pre-utilizing the waste. I chopped up the end piece into diced pepper and put that in because we're going to save the big piece for the strips in the dish we make later on.
So once you use the soy or the tamari and the rice, it's then whatever you've got left over.
Yes.
Pretty much. It'll taste good in a stir fry because it's like
And
the
absolutely. And
base.
if you're doing to do your vegetables for the whole week, you chop your odds and ends all at once and put them in containers, and then you can saute them and then keep them in baggies in the fridge or freeze them. When you do your grocery shopping once a month, once a week, whenever it is, you can process your vegetables from the store in a way that they're going to last and make sure you utilize every little bit of
And
them.
save you time on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I love it. Thanks so much, John. We'll be back to
Pleasure
check
have
in
you
with
here
you in just a bit.
We're going to have more kitchen tips and more things. And we're going to challenge you. This is a revolutionary way to peel an orange. Your mind's going to be blown. Also
can't
coming
wait.
up on
We are back with Chef John Slattery from 4 Main Street Restaurant in Huntington. We're talking about saving money, saving time, and making sure that you don't waste the food that's in your fridge.
Right. So you were gone, I continued to prep more of the ends, and I processed all the baby bok choy. So in that vinegar and water solution, remember it was 1 part vinegar to 3 parts water. I picked off all the big leaves that were left on the baby bok choy that I had. And if you look on the bottom of every baby bok choy, there's more little bok choys. And all we want to do is at the end, after we clean them, we want to just trim the ends off just a little bit so that you have the manageable, just a small piece of what's living. And then after they've been cleaned, dipped, you can put them out to dry on a rack with a paper towel or something like that.
And now once they're dry, what's the next step?
And then you put them on a clean paper towel in a Ziploc bag with the top open in the crisper drawer in the back area of the fridge. Or if you want to keep them and they'll start to grow cold, to prolong them in the winter months. And now you can take some out and put them in a windowsill in a glass jar, and they'll start to green up and grow a little bit more, and you can harvest a lot more off of them as they continue to grow.
But there's no replanting, there's no dirt involved in this. It's just water.
You can do it with just the water, absolutely,
really
and
cool.
they will benefit from being replanted. Eventually, they may go to seed, but all those smaller bok choys will continue to develop. And the same with the spinach. I cleaned off the spinach, so we have a lot of chopped spinach to go into the
Good,
dish.
that smells really yummy.
Yes,
that
so
fried
we
rice.
continue to fry the rice.
Yeah.
And now we've got.
Oh, nice and crispy.
Now
Now we
that's
got
the trick to it. You want to make sure that you.
We slow cook it, and then we let it. I got nice and crisp. That first layer crispy, and we cook those first vegetables. Now I've got a lot of the soft vegetables, some of the shredded spinach, and the very ends of the celery that we chopped off for the sticks that we made.
Right.
And then we got some of those the wild ramps, the greens, the green onions, and some of the fiddleheads. And now we cut those greens a little bit, and add a splash of water just to steam the greens. Or chicken stock if you like, or something like that.
And that'll all evaporate if you keep the pan open,
Yeah,
right?
and we keep the rice is off to the side right now because we don't really want to get the rice soggy. We're just getting those extra vegetables nice and fresh and tender in there, and stirring the fried rice back in.
Look at how quick that cooks, huh? That's
So
quick.
you can make the base rice and you can make the base vegetables, and you can put them aside in the fridge for a couple days or in the freezer and just take them out as portions at a time.
And then you could obviously add some chicken.
Whatever
or
other
steak
vegetable
or
might have been
pork.
left over the night before. You know, it's really cool. I was talking about how we could save the apples and things like that too. Don't forget other vegetables like the bell pepper, the little bits and pieces. I couldn't save off the edges of that. If you bought the bell peppers were on sale, or you saw a nice package of them on the clearance rack, bring them all home, process them, cut them up, freeze them. Even the cores, if you have enough, put them with a cup of sugar in a glass jar and let that sit in the fridge for a couple days, shake it around. It'll make the syrup, and you get like a bell pepper syrup that you can put over chicken or pork or something like that. Or combine apples and do bell pepper and apple.
And a lot of people, they go to the store and they
Wow.
spend so much on a marinade or a dressing. You can make your own with stuff that you were going to throw away anyway.
Right, mango bell pepper syrup over grilled chicken breast with some native vegetable fried rice. I think would be great if we had some
And then
chicken.
you're not
or quiche.
eating something with a
Or
lot of
Quiche and fried rice.
weird stuff in it.
Nothing better than quiche and fried rice. Now, let's talk about that for the quiche real quick, because that's another everything but the kitchen sink thing, as long as you have a pie crust and some eggs.
Yeah, a pie crust and some eggs, and then having those vegetables here. That same vegetable packet that we could turn into fried rice, we could turn into quiche, or we could dice up some of yesterday's leftover baked potatoes and do a curry. We would just like the rice, saute them in the oil and add in the other ingredients, and maybe add a little bit of gram masala, which is a based over Indian curry type flavor from that region of the world, or cumin if you wanted to go more towards Southwestern American or South American region of the world. And those foods are really great, and those things make a lot of vegetables and meats pop. So it's really about concentrating your flavors, like the tamari that we use is a really good concentrated flavor, and letting a little bit of flavor go a long way in the dish. And that will make simple things like rice and potatoes and pastas go, make them taste better and make you feel better about eating them, and just try and incorporate as much native, local, fresh ingredients, because we are what we eat. And the more of the things that we eat that are from where we live, the more of our we are.
That's true. Now, we have some more tricks and tips, because earlier
Yes.
in the show, we were telling you some. Here's some more. You know, you get those ice cubes, you take them out of your fridge, and they're cloudy.
Always cloudy.
What if we told you you can make crystal clear ice cubes, kind of like those, but maybe even clearer? So apparently the process of boiling filtered water, it eliminates dissolved air and decompresses the mineral in the water. And that's why it's so easy, and it makes these ice cubes that just look perfect.
Crystal clear.
They're magazine ice cubes, that's what I'll call them.
Impress your friends at your next party with clear ice cubes.
Here's a second way, though, to impress your friends big time.
Yes, the best way to chill wine, frozen grapes.
Think about it, because you put frozen ice cubes in wine, even if you put those classy clear ones, it's going to dissolve into your wine and water it down. But you can do this without watering it down. Now you just plop one or two in a glass of red or white wine to get it to the temperature that you want.
Plus, it just looks really cute, too. And then you have a little treat at the end.
It's true.
Yeah, like a little dessert. Also, you can make citrus cubes. It's a fabulous idea for water or even a sangria pitcher. So a muffin pan can give you much larger cubes, making the ice last longer, and you can put some little pieces of fruit in there.
Yeah, you can
It's
do-
a lot cooler than that, though. What you do is you take and you freeze the half of a lemon itself with just a little bit of water in like a muffin tin. So all it is not a lemon in a cube, but just a frozen lemon half. We make a cocktail with peach vodka and sweet tea vodka and sweet tea, and we put a couple of those frozen lemons in it as a garnish. It's a really nice thing.
Oh, now you're talking. See, this is good stuff. These tips are great.
They're useful tips. They're out
Useful
there.
tips.
Now,
how to be fancy.
Our producer Michelle has challenged us because we found this tip online. She's challenged us to see if we could do it. It's cutting an orange. It's the proper way to cut an orange.
Oh, I'm nervous about that.
I'm very nervous too because we have a small wager riding on this. So I'm just going to move this thing here.
There,
And
get all the stuff
apparently,
out of your way.
it's the perfect way to peel an orange. No muss, no fuss. You're not going to mess up your nails. And what you do is you take your orange and you cut both the top and the bottom just a little bit.
Seth, have you done this before?
I have never done this. This is the first time this has ever been done.
We learned this
by me, at least.
online.
So you cut the two sides off here. Then you take the middle and you give it a solid slice through. And then, if all goes well, here we go. You just open it up and it should accordion out, giving you more or less the perfect orange slices. I'll give myself a medium on that. Here we go, and we're the accordion.
Okay,
Even still, though, it's the perfect way to do it because you don't have. It's less slicing.
You sliced an orange. That's what you did. You just sliced an orange.
Well, it looks pretty, doesn't it?
It's pretty. You know what, Seth? How about we'll work on it this weekend?
Some tips and tricks are better than others.
Yeah, we'll work on it because if you look at the picture that we saw, it was pretty remarkable.
Yes. No, it was really cool. So I didn't win this one, but we had a couple winners last night at the Spelling Bee. The winner was actually two people.
A tie.
Two winners at the 87th Annual Scripps National Spelling Bee. It's the first time that happened since 1962, since the 13-year-old Asun Sunjo and 14-year-old Siram Hawatar were declared co-champions.
They both spelled very difficult words correctly. Hafwar correctly spelled the word, I don't even know.
Stickamafia.
Stickamithia.
Now, I knew this, absolutely. It's a technique employed in verse or drama using alternating lines of dialogue to heighten emotion. I'm lying, I had no idea what that means, and frankly, I don't even understand the definition.
Sujo correctly spelled the word feuilleton. This is only the fourth tie in the history of the National Spelling Bee since its beginning in 1925. That is quite impressive.
Now, one of the students that didn't win, he was very animated. This was an amazing story. When he was competed in the semifinals yesterday, check out 15-year-old Jacob Williamson.
Hi, Dr. Bailey. Please give me a word I know.
Good luck. Euripus.
Euripus. I know it! Greek, right?
Yes, it went from Greek to Latin. Euripus.
Okay, Euripus. E-U-R-I-P-U-S. Euripus.
Correct.
Excited, right?
I can only imagine the excitement when you find out you heard it. You spelled it right? Oh my gosh. I would have screamed and jumped and did a crazy dance.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of spelling, can you spell beautiful? Don't look at the teleprompter. Can you?
B-E-A, beautiful.
So you couldn't spell it.
Yes, I can.
Either way, that's what these flowers are. They're from our friends at DeRocher Florists, and they're just gorgeous.
They really are. I love that arrangement. I absolutely love it. All right, so if you're a parent, John Slattery, I know you are.
I am.
You're a parent of 3, right?
3.
Busy
11,
guy.
almost 9, and just over 2. All
Wow.
boys.
So you got to know how to repurpose those leftovers.
Yeah,
I know what that's all
mom's
about.
a master
Yeah.
at making the most of what we got.
Good job,
That's
Mom.
what you have to do, Mom.
So if you're a parent, like John, and have a smartphone or tablet, your kids probably know how to use it better than you do. So our PC, Mike Wendland, has some suggestions that will help you spend quality time with your kids and turn any night into family night by finding the best apps for young people.